Chill, the ghetto was jumping out at the Oscars after party because Cardi B allegedly jumped Saweetie after catching her with Offset. Eyewitnesses who were there said Cardi was very angry and she would have really messed Saweetie up if people weren't there to separate them. Cardi reportedly caught Saweetie sleeping with Offset a little while ago, and that's allegedly why Saweetie and Quavo broke up in the first place. In fact, Quavo seemingly spilled the tea about this some time ago, but people didn't really catch on to what he was saying for real. And this also explains why Offset and Quavo have not been able to put their differences aside and reconcile even after Takeoff's passing. Cardi feels like Saweetie is the one to blame for her marriage falling apart, and Offset and Quavo are refusing to speak to each other. Child, y'all might want to get real comfortable, cause baby, we finna get into some things. Okay, so rumors about Cardi and Saweetie not liking each other have been circulating for quite some time, even before Saweetie gave Offset a taste of that kitty cat. A lot of people also felt like Cardi and Saweetie were in some sort of secret competition with each other. I mean, you would think they would be besties, considering the fact that they men were very close. But they never really got along and barely even acknowledged each other. However, it looks like their feud was a little more serious than anybody could have thought, because they got into a very serious verbal altercation at this year's Vanity Oscars after party. According to the source who spilled the tea about this, Cardi was the one who seemingly started it after she started screaming at Saweetie. Apparently, Saweetie wasn't trying to engage, so she didn't escalate the situation farther, but Cardi was not letting up. The eyewitness said Cardi saw Saweetie and went right over to her and started yelling, "What you gotta say now?" or something like that. It was real ghetto. Saweetie tried to keep it classy, but she didn't back down. Basically, Cardi was making a fool of herself yelling, and Saweetie didn't back down, but she didn't raise her voice. And of course, Cardi's trifling fans immediately started trying to do some sort of damage control by claiming that Saweetie was probably the one who provoked her, but folks were not buying that. In fact, Cardi herself seemingly confirmed the news when she went on IG Live and told someone that she was speaking on the phone with. She then ended the call by telling the person she would have to tell them what happened after she gets off live.
I definitely ran into somebody. You know me. I don't play that. But I'll call you later because I'm on live. I'll tell you all the Tiana later. Bye.
Saweetie, on the other hand, also jumped on IG Live looking unbothered as hell and bragging about how she was wearing $25 million worth of jewelry, something Cardi can't relate to. Child, the girlies are fighting. Not her asking who else. Definitely not Cardi. Anyway, like I said before, this feud has been brewing for a hot minute now, and it has to do with Saweetie allegedly sleeping with Offset. These rumors started shortly after Saweetie and Quavo broke up, because if you remember, the breakup was really messy, and there was even a video of Quavo putting his hands on Saweetie. Quavo was seen dragging her into an elevator without her consent and literally throwing her to the floor. To make things even worse, he took back the Bentley that he bought for her while they were together. And at this time, people were confused as to why he was going this hard to break up and do things to intentionally embarrass her. That was until he released the song Messy featuring Takeoff, where he accused Saweetie of getting freaky with somebody very close to him. And though he didn't explicitly mention Saweetie and Offset, the song came at a very convenient time, and it really wasn't that hard to figure out who he was talking about. That was also around the same time that he and Offset started beefing too, so the signs were really right there in our faces. Quavo also referenced Saweetie's interview on Young Miami's Carisha Please, where she said she had moved on from the breakup. He rapped, "I said Carisha, please, cause she too messy." BF'd my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the gang, you should have just said it, we would have blessed it. Some people speculated that Quavo was talking about Lil Baby, since Saweetie was linked to him at one point, but Quavo and Lil Baby have never been that close for him to be out here calling him his dog. So the possibility of it being about Offset is still very high. Now, Saweetie did not let this diss track slide, and she clapped back in her song Don't Say Nothing, where she rapped, "Why men always speaking on who I'm effing on? He must have got excited when I FaceTimed him with nothing on. Them same lips that be yapping, the same ones I nutted on. 100K, please, that's how much paper I be touching on. That's light, better check my net worth. Post a pic in his sweatshirt, I bet I have my ex hurt. That's what I get for kissing on these frogs. He got mad and told my business to the blogs." However, people were not here for her response because it came just a few days after Takeoff was unalived, and people felt like she was trying to ride off the death of Takeoff to promote her music and get back at Quavo, who was still grieving at the time.
Saweetie gotta shut the up. Come on, let's just get to it. I don't have time to play today. Saweetie gotta shut the up. That's my take. I'm not listening to Saweetie until she answered the question everybody waiting for the answer. Did you Offset or not? That's it.
Bad timing.
Horrible timing.
Well, which is why it's bad timing for whatever she was saying in that freestyle. Yeah. It ain't the time for your freestyle.
At this point, things were starting to get really out of hand, and people were demanding for Cardi to address the situation and to confirm it. Cardi ended up responding to a fan amidst her online feud with Madonna, and she said Offset was gonna spill the tea about it in his album. She said the rumors will be addressed on Offset's new album, but this was nothing but a lie to boost Offset's album sales, because the album's been released and there's not a single reference of him and Saweetie having an affair on it. But anyway, Cardi later made an appearance on the Jason Lee show last year, and as expected, she was asked if there was any truth to the Saweetie and Offset rumors. She had completely dodged the question by talking about how she feels like no matter what she says, people are still gonna believe whatever they want to believe.
You know why I was quiet? I was quiet because one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out the truth. And you know that I was finding out that truth in and out. So it's like, if I entertain something that I know is not true on the internet, people be like, oh, it is true because you're addressing it. But when I don't address it, it's true or not, it's true as well. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna entertain, because if I entertain it, it's gonna keep going longer and longer and longer. And at the end of the day, I know what's going on in my house. So it's like, I have learned from those experiences not to even address things that's going on in my home when I know the truth. Cause it's like, people gonna make it worse, because it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it looks like the rumors about Saweetie hooking up with Offset actually did have some truth to them. But all of them spent the last few months trying to gaslight us into thinking that we were trying to start the drama when there was already drama between them. I mean, if people weren't there when she started going off on Saweetie, she would've really did some damage. This the same woman who sent her whole gang of security after 2 innocent girls because of her serial cheating husband who cheated on her with them. It's honestly really sad that Cardi continues to be mad at everyone else for Offset's infidelity except for Offset himself. But anyway, people had their own 2 cents to give about this, and they did not hold back. One person said, Cardi getting into it with Saweetie at the Oscar party, all because her cheating man wanted Saweetie is peak insecure behavior. Another person said, I don't believe Saweetie slept with Offset. I believe Cardi B is a bully cosplaying as a girl's girl. She's always trying to run up on somebody as if someone is afraid of her. But now I want to know your thoughts. Do y'all really believe Saweetie hooked up with Offset, or is Cardi overreacting as usual? And what do y'all think about Cardi getting called out for always pulling up on women instead of directing her anger to Offset? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.